Can you hear me?
Right. Give me just a second here. I can hear you.
Okay. You just call me LaShawn. You don't have to call me Poco, brother.
LaShawn, sorry. I guess I should have gone with the other name.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is just for my Pokemon Go Discord. That's why it's Poco.
Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Okay. Well, LaShawn, we've talked once before. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm okay. I'm doing pretty well.
Cool. All right. Well, what would you like to talk about this evening, LaShawn?
The government shut down, man.
Okay. What about it?
I want to know more. I want to know your opinion.
My opinion, I think it's bad. I think that people need to be paid. I think that the government needs to function properly. I also think that it's necessary given what the conservatives are doing. Like, there's no other choice, really. There's no other lever of power that the liberals have to work with. So I'm glad that they're using it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we do live in a democracy, so you can do things like this.
Yeah. So, it's
But
unfortunate, but
yeah,
it just is a result
that
of having incompetent leadership.
yeah. At what cost though? Really, it comes at the cost of we the people. Honestly, it doesn't matter
Sure
if you're
does.
all right, far left. It hurts everyone right now.
Sure does. I don't like that, but Trump is hurting a lot of people right now, and the Democrats decided we're not going to give him blanket permission to do that anymore.
Yeah, they could always impeach if Trump is this monster that everyone makes him out to be. He can be impeached. We have the power as we the people, in the Constitution to impeach somebody. If somebody's a bad president or doing ill will stuff towards the country, we could definitely change that.
It is certainly on paper, right?
He's been
I
impeached before.
He has. You're right. On paper, we do have the power as the people. I think that it would be good to impeach him at this point. I'm not entirely sure what the process for that looks like. Whatever it is, it's probably too complicated. But at the end of the day, Trump has unfettered access to power, and yet the government is shut down. We have to reconcile that. If like people who like Trump, people who like the conservatives and what they're doing right now, have to reconcile the fact that they have all the levers of power, and this is what's happening.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a conservative. I don't fall under right wing. I'm not a Republican per se.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I can see where you're coming from the outside looking in for sure. I think people need to be more sympathetic and look at other people's point of view and have discussions and see what's going on with people in their country. I think it's your duty as an American.
Yeah, I agree. I that's why I'm trying to do what I'm doing. Like I'm trying to have as many discussions with as many people as I possibly can. Just see where everybody's coming from and see if we can start building bridges rather than burning them constantly.
Yeah. So what was your guys' main? I know I wanted to say something about like the Great Britain thing. What was your take on that?
My take on what specifically about that?
How to make society better? Or, I can't
Yeah, yeah,
remember the complete
yeah.
premise of what you guys were talking about, but
So it was simply a demonstration that eventually, given enough time and the right conditions, any two competing factions, no matter how bad the competition is, can come together and break bread. That's the point I
yeah,
was driving at.
yeah, we can look for evidence like that in America. The North and the South. This
Yep.
country was divided so much, and now we're a republic.
Yep, exactly. We're still a united 50 states, despite the fact that,
Yeah,
not that long ago in the grand scheme, we were a country torn.
war torn.
Yes. So my only point was that it's possible, and people think it's not, but there's evidence that it is.
Yeah, eventually,
Yeah.
things will become better. I have faith in humanity, people that eventually we will get our stuff together and figure this out. Oh,
Yeah, and
I hope.
And the nice thing is with the internet, the rise of the internet, it is able to happen faster than ever. I keep saying this will never happen in my lifetime. This will never happen in my lifetime. And I only say that really because I don't want to get my hopes up. I think it could. I think that it
Yeah,
is possible. But,
sure.
the reason I don't get my hopes up is because that's not what I'm fighting for. I am simply fighting for it to happen as soon as possible.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for
hopefully
sure.
that's
It,
within my
it very well
lifetime.
could.
Yeah.
It could happen in our lifetime if people wake up and see the greater scheme of things and realize we're all people in this thing we call life. It very well could happen, and I hope it happens.
I do too. I do too, brother. So that was my only point that I was trying to bring up. But is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I know you wanted to ask me some other questions. Our last debate. I don't know if you have them off the top of your head or not.
I don't. What was
I
our
was
last debate about?
um conservative values. We
Sure.
touched on trans people and stuff like that.
Sure. So yeah, we kind of came to an agreement on like, you at least respect trans people's like identities, eh, and that's fine. We don't have to get into the nitty gritty of that. Why do you call yourself a conservative? I'm curious. What's conservative
I just
about
hold a
you?
lot of conservative values.
Sure. Can you give me one? Like, what's your
Uh,
biggest one?
just like a lot of them. It's not. I can't pick and choose. It's a lot of them. I fall. My morality as a Christian coincides with that a lot. Like abortion and stuff. That's a conservative thing that I fall under.
Okay. So
But
you're against
the
abortion.
covenant with man and women should be man and women.
Okay. So you're against abortion and you're against gay marriage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there one or the other that you'd like to touch on?
We could talk about abortion if you'd like.
Sure. Why are you against abortion?
Because the Bible it says God knows you before you was formed, before you was in utero. I knew you. As people, I don't think we have the rights to decline life on any human scale. I don't think it is right, morally correct to unalive babies just because uh we see it current day people being promiscuous and stuff like that and not living like they should live. They're having all these ABs, abortions. They're sleeping around. Uh, their answer is the final say is I'm sleeping around, so I'm gonna unalive this baby or I'm gonna take this plan B. I don't think we should live like that as people.
Right. So abortion procedures, like they're not pleasant, right? Like people don't get them for fun, right?
No, it's a surgery. In most cases, abortion is a surgery. It's invasive, for sure.
There are surgeries that take place. I don't know if it's accurate to say that most of them are surgeries, but we can just say for the purposes of this conversation, that's what we're referring to as surgical abortion procedures, right? When we say abortion.
Okay.
So, surgical abortion procedures. So, my ex had one, right? And I helped her pay for it. So, the reason that I felt okay doing that, well, actually, I kind of didn't. At the time, I kind of didn't, because at the time, in my head, I actually was still pro life. Like
Yeah,
I had to
and
really.
Alec,
Mhm.
men should definitely have a say. If that's your child and your woman at the time, it's not fair to men to get someone pregnant and they be known like, oh hey, I'm pregnant but I'm going to get an abortion. Why don't men have a say in that at all? Why is it just one-sided? It
Sure.
takes two people to create life. Why is it the final say lies with the woman? That's where I'm broke at too,
Okay.
that line.
What do you say to people who say it's her body, the baby is attached to her body?
But what if that baby is a girl? That's her body too. It's a double-edged sword, really.
Wait, what if the baby's a girl?
What
What
if
do you mean?
what if the baby is a girl?
What
That's
what
her
if it
body,
is?
right? Yeah, that's her body, right? Why does she get a
Okay,
say?
but like if you want, okay, so if you want to get into the nitty gritty of this, it can also be his body if it's a trans man. Like we agree that we properly gender like trans people, even if we don't buy into the ideology, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Sometimes it can be
yeah.
his body. So I don't want to get into semantics of or like id pull. I'm not id pulling you. What I'm trying to say is it is
No,
the
I believe there's
choice.
only two genders, and
That's fine.
there will only be two genders. Well,
That's
I
fine.
mean,
My
and
yeah.
intersex. Intersex is a thing. I don't want to say that those kind of people don't exist. There is intersex people. I will acknowledge that.
Sure. My only point is the person who is carrying the baby gets the final say because that baby is attached to that person. Does that make sense?
It
If it were
it
the man,
how
I'd
you
say it's
said
the
it
man's
makes sense,
choice.
but logically it doesn't make sense. Do you see where
Okay.
I'm coming from? Like it takes two people to bring life into this world. Why does it take one person? One person's final say, like, "Hey, no," it doesn't make sense to me. Because what if you wanted, like in your case, you was pro life at the time, and
hmm
you really wanted this baby. You really wanted this baby. Why don't you get the opportunity to be a father?
Well, I don't think I said I wanted the baby. You kind
I'm
of
just saying,
inserted
let's say
that.
that you wanted the baby.
Okay,
That's what I
let's say that I
said.
did. Sure.
Yeah, you wanted to
Sure.
be a father. You could provide this kid with a beautiful life, with everything they needed. Why do you not get a opinion or an option in that case?
Well, again, right? The baby's not attached to him. So I just find the idea of him getting to override the decision of the person whom it is attached to a little bit unsettling. Like I don't like that. It feels like he's just controlling her body at that point.
I get what you're saying 100%, but it takes two. It's not like a woman
Sure.
can have well they can have a baby outside of a man, but typically it takes a man and a woman to make a baby, equal parts of both people, right?
Sure. So basically what you're arguing is because the man helped to create this new life, he should have a say over what happens to it, correct?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, men should be able to have a say.
Okay.
100%. Yeah,
I, I, know,
that's what I'm preaching.
I know this probably felt short, but we only have about 2 minutes left. So if you want to have a longer conversation about this, we can. We can keep going down this path, or if you have any final thoughts, you can go ahead and give those. It's up to you.
We can take a little bit longer. We can
Sure.
do whatever you want to do. If you
Sure.
got people that want to come up, I'll drop. It's okay.
I can't get over this idea, right? That, again, the man is controlling the woman's body by forcing her to carry this pregnancy because that's essentially what's happening, right? Like he's forcing her.
It's equal. It takes two. I don't think you're comprehending that it takes
Okay.
two people to bring a life into this world.
But, right.
Like
Sure.
that baby in utero has 50% of you, has 50% of whatever you offer to the plate genetically. So you have stuff in the game, like you biologically, there is your DNA. It's half and half, right?
Sure. And that's what you put value in is the fact that that genetic material is yours.
Yeah, that should be important. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Where do I want to take this? We can keep going because I
I
don't
know
think.
I know how this comes off. I know it doesn't come off correctly. I can understand that. I understand the consequences of thinking like this. I genuinely do.
Okay.
But I think it would be fair to men to be able to have a say.
Do you think it's
It
fair
should.
to go ahead?
Is it fair? Is it fair to a man to have all this head in the game? Oh yeah, I'm going to be a father. I want to be a father. I want to provide for this child. And then for a woman to just be like, no, you don't. I have controlled it. This is my body. No, you don't get to be a father because I say you don't, because I don't want to birth the child.
Right. So basically it's like, oh, if the man could take on the child, then he would. Like he would take that
Yeah,
burden
that's
off of her in order to have the baby, but he can't. He literally can't, right? And
yeah,
so
we know
because of
that.
that, right, because of that, unless he's a seahorse, of course, but because of that, like he now has to suffer through this mental anguish of she's killing my child, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Why do you value that over the mental anguish or let me ask you this. Do you think it's fair to say that you value that over the mental anguish of the woman being forced to carry this baby for 9 months?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I think
That's why I
a
backtracked and
parent
said,
is
do you think it's fair to say that?
being a
And you don't.
parent is the most valuable thing that you can do for this planet.
Okay.
That if you're not religious, if you believe in evolution, uh, that's the only reason why we're here, is to pass genetic code down the line. Realistically, that's the only reason why we're here. If you're not religious,
Sure.
or is to pass genetic code down the line. That's the only
To,
reason why we're here.
to what end do we do this? To what end do we engage in this ritual
What do you mean?
of reproduction? Like, to what end? Like, what's the point?
To keep the human race going. That's why we reproduce. That's why anything reproduces in nature.
But
To
why? Why
keep
not
to
just,
keep their
yeah.
because that's the law of nature,
So
right?
we're just all slaves to our nature then.
Yeah, we are. We all have. Yeah, we are. Look at us. Look at human nature and history. All the warfare. That's human nature.
I don't think it
Mankind
is.
is. It is. Since the very beginning of times, we've been killing each other. We fall short of it 100% of the time. Globally, historically, if you look at it, I mean, we're a slave to human nature. We really are.
I don't think we have to be. I mean, you and I aren't, right?
Yeah,
We disagree, and we're not at each other's throats.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for everyone to have a say, especially if you have any head in the game. Like I hate to even say it like that, but if you're involved with making a child, you should ultimately have a say. It is
Sure.
not fair for a man to get a woman pregnant and not have a say, and it's also not fair for vice versa. It's not fair if a woman wants to have a baby, doesn't want to have a baby, and a man wants to.
I hear
It's a
you.
double-edged sword. The factors that you pull in can be turned right against you.
Yeah, I hear you. I need to get back to this human nature thing because this is where the crux of our disagreement lies. You think that it is simply human nature, biological drive to just continuously pop out more babies ad
To reproduce,
infinitum,
yeah,
ad
yeah,
infinitum.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why we're
That's
here.
what we do.
That is just the thing that we do, right?
Yeah, that 100%.
Okay, so but you also think it's just a thing that we do to go to war with each other, right?
Human nature, yeah. If people don't agree with stuff, yeah, they're gonna hurt each other. Yeah, that's in human nature.
But once again, you and I haven't hurt each other. Do you feel the need to hurt me right
There,
now?
no, it. I don't
Okay.
think you're comprehend. Like I'm just saying, historically, we can back everything that I'm claiming as the truth. But also, I mean, you don't have the same. You see, this is where human nature is shifting. But there will
Okay.
always be the drive to reproduce. That will never go away.
Will there?
What was it?
Will there?
No, yeah, because if people stop having other people, the human race dies. Who wants to see the human race die?
Some people might.
Look at animals. They keep going. Do we know why? No, because it's in their nature. They reproduce by nature.
Well, I mean, we've already established that human nature can change over time, right?
Yeah, it can change.
Yeah, so
But
then
but
there's no
having
reason. Yeah.
children, prolonging your species and creating will never change. No, I cannot say that will ever change. People will
So,
always want to have children till the end
s-
of time.
sure. So there's two types of human nature then. There's the type of human nature that can change over time, and there's the type of human nature that cannot change over time. It's just permanent, right?
Yeah, for sure. Would you
Okay.
not agree?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I agree with this yet, but you can convince me. So let's talk about it. So, why do you think it was just human nature to kill each other?
We're very I don't know how to really say this, but we're just very barbaric creatures. It's in our nature. We're barbaric
Well, you're not.
as
I
a
don't think you
collective.
are.
As a collective, humans are barbaric as look at anything. Look what's happening in Africa right now. You can
Sure.
just look on any corner of the planet and see barbaric actions.
Sure. I think that's fair. I don't
I'm
so
not
but
justifying it.
I know. Don't worry. I'm not taking anything you're saying negatively. I think that you're right. I think that as a collective, we are barbaric. That part's true. So when you say human nature, what you mean is what the current zeitgeist is as a species, right?
Yeah, and the past of our species.
And the past. So we take that into
Yeah,
consideration as well. Got it. So the human nature that can change is our drive for war, our drive for violence. And you say it is
that
changing slowly.
yeah yeah. I think evidence backed. I think as a collective, we could have killed each other already. We could have nuked each other, but we haven't. There's a reason for that because people want to see the human race continue.
Fair point. Most people don't want the. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Like, if we're so bloodthirsty, then we would just all kill each other until like the last
Yeah,
man standing, right?
yeah, yeah. We have nuclear weapons that could kill this world over 20 times. All these nukes that we have is enough to kill Earth over and some.
Do you think it's human nature to love each other?
Yeah, yeah. Love is in human nature for sure. That is a human nature. We can look historically, men and women and men and whatever he slash she's and since the beginning of time have loved each other. That's
Sure.
just a fact.
Yeah. So since the beginning of
But
time, not on. Go ahead.
I
But
think I
what?
think uh, love isn't really. I don't know. Love is a very convoluted word. It really is
Sure, it is.
because some people will say it's a chemical reaction in your brain. Some people don't even think you can love. Really, they don't think love is an emotion.
Interesting. I'd like to chat with those people. They must
I
have
don't
sad
think like that, but
lives.
I've definitely talked to some people that think love is just nothing. It's just a chemical reaction.
Well, at the end of the day, everything's physical or chemical or it's some other thing. I think personally there's some kind of spiritual particle that we just haven't discovered or measured
Yeah,
yet, but that's just
that's
me.
that's the that's the God that's God within us all. Being able to love, yeah, that's unearthly.
That's fair. Um, so if we are able, so if it's human nature to love, and it's also
Yeah.
human nature to war, how do we
Mhm.
reconcile this? Like, how can both of those things exist within us?
They can't, not simultaneously. They
Not
just cannot.
simultaneously.
Yeah, they don't work hand in hand. Love
Okay,
and war don't work.
so we cannot love while we're at war.
No, if you have love for other people, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. You wouldn't subject people to all this pain and anguish. If you loved anything, like if you loved your dog, you wouldn't hurt people. I don't think they can exist at the same time.
Okay, so you can't love while you're at war. Why then how do we decide who we love and who we hate?
I I think it's a lot of it's political, right?
Okay.
If I don't conform to what you believe, you dislike me. Most of the time, you're you're one of the select few people that will sit down and listen. But the right and the left are very much like that. It's both sided.
I agree. I think that there are a lot of, well, frankly, I'm gonna get shit for saying this. I've been more annoyed at the left lately, to be honest with you. And I
They're a
say that
lot.
as
They're
somebody.
similar in so many ways, dude. Like realistically, the right and the left are so similar that they can't even see it. They're so washed up and brainwashed that they can't realize and sit back like, hey, we're doing the same shit that these people are doing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, nobody's listening to each other, right? Nobody's empathizing. Like, everybody wants to get angry at each other for their moment of catharsis and dopamine hit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's politics that kind of causes us to war with each other, right? That's
Yeah,
your
a
answer?
hundred
Okay.
percent. That's the leading. Yeah, that's one of the since the beginning of time, political views have been the leading causation of war. Yeah, I would have to say, yeah, not 100%, but majority.
So minus politics, we would only have love.
Then you get into religious views. There's been a lot of the Crusades and stuff. So I mean, political and religious views kind of coincide with each other too, because a lot of Christians are Republicans, and a lot of like agnostic and atheist people are Democrats and very left winged. There is a correlation.
Sure. So it's not just politics then.
Yeah, no,
Okay. So politics is a major driver of it, but that's not
and
the only
religion.
thing. So
Yeah,
politics
yeah,
and religion.
yeah.
Would it be
That's the
fair to
leading
say,
cause.
yeah, the leading causes? So like we'll say like at least like 75%.
I think more. I think more like
Okay.
95%, but that doesn't matter.
Sure. So point is, if we could solve the conflicts with both of those two things, politics and religion, 95% of all conflict would end.
100%. Yeah.
95%. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
So,
no, 100%. Like it would the world would flip tremendously in hours if we could solve these problems. 100%. The world would be a better place if we could figure this shit out. Yeah.
absolutely. So, one of those things we got to figure out is between you and me, we don't agree that about abortion because you think that, just to wrap this back around because we're almost done here, we're almost out of time. But you think that fetuses are literally babies, and so
Yeah, they're
therefore,
humans.
yeah, so therefore, if if you kill them, then you are committing infanticide, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So you believe that I helped fund infanticide, right?
Yes, but
Right.
that's your choice ultimately.
Okay.
That was your position. That was, I'm not gonna bash you. I'm not gonna call you a murderer. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna dwell on it. It's not the right thing to do in my eyes. But I'm not gonna. Who am I to throw rocks from a glass house? I'm a sinner. I think a lot of people can't seem to recognize that we all do up shit,
Sure.
and you can't cast stones at somebody when you're doing fucked up shit. If you're not living accordingly and my beliefs to the Bible, then you really have no room for judgment because we're all sinners. All sin is equal, mostly. In
Sure.
God's eyes, if you sin, you're a sinner. There's only one unforgivable sin. But yeah, that's not my job to go around and judge people and crusade and do that kind of shit. No.
Sure. So even though you think that of me, you don't think I'm a bad guy. Deep down, you don't
No.
think that deep down I
No.
am a bad person, correct?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I, I,
and
I that would be a stupid point, like a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, and just to turn this around on you, right? Just to be fair, because I've now forced you to say that I'm a baby, that I funded baby murder. So now I'll say that I think that you are supporting forcible pregnancy. You know, like you are violating, you are supporting policies that violate the consent of women. You know, but we are still
Yeah,
sitting down
yeah,
here. All right, we're still sitting down. We're still hashing this out. We're still having this discussion. It's a very serious discussion because you know the things that we believe are fundamentally at odds with one another's worldviews. And in many other societies, you and I would have been in opposite factions of a war, and we would have killed each other, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. I can agree with that statement 100%.
And yet here we are, not doing that, right?
Yeah, because people are changing every day.
Exactly. Exactly. So you want to convince me that abortion's wrong, probably, if I had to guess.
Morally, yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay, and I want to convince
100%.
you that it is a medical procedure that's necessary sometimes, right?
That's
Sorry, let me put it this
the
way.
statistic of needing an abortion has significantly dropped since this Severian, and doctors can perform life-saving measures to save mother and child. It is a very, very low odds
Sure. So
that
so
abortion is needed, none to little.
sure. So let me rephrase just to be more fair. I want to convince you that abortion it ought to be an elective procedure. It ought to be. Like it ought to be an allowed elective procedure. Is that fair?
But that's just like saying, like my biggest qualm with what you're saying is people being promiscuous, a lot of
Hmm.
people sleeping around. uh they they can't conform to the consequences of their actions, so they justify taking another being's life because they can't step up, and that's not morally right.
Right.
I
And
can't get behind
right.
that.
And I don't want to talk. I don't want to cut you off, but I do have to go. So real quick, just to make sure we're on the same page, I want to convince you that abortion ought to be an elective procedure. Even if you personally still think that it's religiously, like by your religion, that it's killing a baby, right? I still want to try to convince you either one that it's not that, or two that people ought to be allowed to have the choice to do that. Okay. I would like to do that someday.
That's like state issued murder. I don't even agree with the death penalty in America. I don't agree with
Okay,
that.
and I think that that what you want is fundamentally controlling women's bodies, and I know that you don't want to do that. That's not the type of person you are. But I do think that that is what you're supporting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I could say I could hit you with a double edged sword. I could say that you want women to be able to unalive another human being in
Yes.
utero.
And that's my point. That's all I'm trying to say is that you believe that of me, I believe that of you. And yet here we are hashing it out peacefully because neither of us believe that the other person is coming from a bad place. You don't think I'm coming from a
Yeah.
bad place, do you?
No, we both coming from very good faith
Yeah.
and good intentioned
Yeah.
places. I can't say that you're coming at me ill will, because you're not. I give it to you. You're one of the left. I don't know if you consider yourself left
I do.
or right or center, but you're the only left creator on any platform I've ever talked to that can sit down and have civilized conversations. I will give you that 100%, and I commend you for that. That is super honorable. Honorable, like, dude, I don't think you understand how honorable that shit is. I have a lot of respect for you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And that's one of the reasons that I enjoy talking to you, even if we have these fundamental disagreements. I think at the end of the day, we're going to be able to come together and hash this out. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my only point.
as
I,
people, it is our duty to have these uncomfortable conversations. It really is.
indeed.
The more uncomfortable that the conversation is, the more needed that the conversation is there.
I think that's some solid wisdom. I'm going to carry that one forward. In fact, I might actually make that my quote of the day tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right, well, I got to get to the next conversation. Lisa's been waiting a little bit. I want to
All
thank you
right,
very
brother.
much for coming on tonight. If you ever
Yeah,
want to have a more extensive conversation, you can hit me up. We'll set something up, okay?
yeah, for sure. I'll text you as soon as you're done. Yeah, because I would like to talk more.
Sure. Probably not tonight. I got other
Yeah,
stuff going
yeah,
on, but
yeah.
All right. Well,
God
you take care,
bless.
okay? Yeah, have a great night.
Yep. God bless everybody in here. Everyone have a great evening.
All right, you as well. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs, or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.